Great morning, EXPs. What's good? How are you guys doing today? Yes, yes, yes. I'm checking in with you guys live from Columbus, Ohio. And now that I think about it, a lot of times I've gone live and checked in with you guys from Ohio. So luckily, it's beautiful weather today, and it looks like it's going to shape out to be a great rest of the day. We'll be here for about another 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll be heading back to St. Louis, the Lou. All right. So definitely, guys, in the comments, let me know where you guys are checking in from, what market you're currently residing in, or if you're currently on tour right now, what city you're in, what tour you're executing. And let me know how that tour is going for you guys. What are some things you're learning, or even if you have some questions while I'm live right now, go ahead and drop them in the comments. All right, and I'll be sure to answer them. But listen, I want to talk about, and a lot of times, we want to always be positive, right? When we come on live, or always exude positive energy, right? Or just always make sure that we are coming from a good place, right? But today, I want to switch it up a little bit and talk about some of the negativity that goes on in the experiential marketing industry, right? While we have a lot of good, while we have awesome clients, awesome account managers, awesome experiential marketing and staffing agencies, excuse me, we got to also talk about that some of the negativity that comes in many forms within the industry, right? Whether that be EXPs experiencing racism, or uh, instances where they may have been racially discriminated against, whether that be from a consumer, from an agency standpoint, or even just negativity with working with other EXPs, or working with other account managers or agency owners, right? Because let's be honest, we have a lot of good in this industry, and we always like to celebrate the good, but there are instances where um you have to be mindful, because like I said in the post, negativity comes in many forms, um with agencies, right? With account managers, with staffing coordinators. you know they're hired, right? And they're there to assist with not only staffing an event, but ensuring that from an execution standpoint that the event is successful, right? And if they are working with you closely, especially if you are a tour manager, they're there to assist you with making sure logistically, from a staff standpoint, from an event by event standpoint, that you have everything you need, right? That you are equipped with everything you need to successfully execute your tour or your program, right? Whether that be a one-off event, whether that be a tour for multiple months or multiple weeks on end. But oftentimes, I'm not going to say oftentimes, but there are instances where you just have some negative account managers, right? You have individuals who just um, don't either like their job, or they're always negative when you talk to them, and you're trying to get information, or you're trying to find out, um, insight, and just receive the things that you need, right, to be successful on your job, whether that be tour manager, regional manager. They're just always negative, right? They're always giving you excuse, or they're always wanting to pass their roles and responsibilities on to you, and have you in a sense like serve two roles, right? Do their job as well, and have you feel as though it is your job and it is your responsibility to pick up the weight, when they're not performing their duties. And it can be tough, especially if you're on tour and you're having consistent communications and dealing with this individual to be able to work through, any issues that you're having. Um, I encourage you, if you're in this situation, if you're dealing with an account manager who's just making your life hard, right? Who's just being difficult, who's not willing to communicate, who's not listening to you, who's not valuing the input, who's not appreciating, what you're doing from a role or management standpoint. You got to have a conversation with them, right? And you may have to, if you're unable to have a conversation with that person and come to a solution, or come to an agreement, right? and work through your issues, you may have to pursue a higher up, someone else, maybe a senior account manager or a senior account coordinator that can step in and help mediate and maybe even take over the roles and responsibilities that the account manager was performing. Because at the end of the day, you are there to assist with executing that program, right? And executing that event. And you do not want to be in a workplace or an environment where you're constantly having to fight battles with account managers or staffing coordinators. And then you got staff, brand ambassadors, right? That you're having to work with on a day-to-day basis and ensure that they are coming prepared and willing and able to perform their duties. So don't allow any job, I always say this, and I'm going to continue to preach this. No job, no opportunity, no position, no role should jeopardize who you are and what you stand for as an individual. Be honest about what your expectations are, and don't allow people to disrespect you. I don't care if it's an agency owner, I don't care if it's a client. Everybody deserves to be respected, right? And everybody has a voice, and everybody, if you are hired at any position within the industry, right, you were hired for a reason. So don't allow, and I must talk to my brand ambassadors as well. Don't allow tour managers to talk to you any kind of way, to be rude, to be disrespectful, because at the end of the day, you're getting paid to do a job, right? We all signed up. If you're working in this industry and you let me say this, if you do great work in this industry, right, and you value your name and you value what you put out there from a performance standpoint, don't allow anybody else, don't allow an account manager, a client, a brand, a tour manager, a team to disrespect you and talk to you any kind of way. Now, I do agree that, there are instances, in times where you have to have sidebar conversations and just, check in with your staff. Hey, everything okay? I notice you're not engaging with consumers, or I notice you have a little attitude. Is there something going on? Do you need to take 10, 15 minutes? Are you going to be willing and able and capable to, perform your job duties? But it should not be done in a disrespectful way. And quite frankly, my account managers, my staffing coordinators, you gotta be mindful, and you gotta be considerate, especially if you are working with a tour manager or a market manager, right? You have to be mindful and considerate of the fact that there are a lot of different things that may be going on while there are a lot of, let me get my thoughts together, right? There may be a lot of different elements. There may be a lot of different issues. There may be a lot of different challenges. That's the way I'm trying to say. There may be a lot of different challenges going on for that tour manager or that manager on site that have nothing to do with you. They may be dealing with a unprofessional site coordinator. They may be dealing with unprofessional people at a store. And they're trying to get this event set up. They're trying to make sure that they are able to successfully start this event on time, so that not only the event can be successful, but if a client comes out and they have questions, that you as the account manager are able to be briefed, that any issues are being communicated to you in a timely manner. So account managers, you got to be considerate, and you got to be mindful of the fact that we're just one person with two hands, two eyes, and two legs, right? We can only do so much. And you got to give us time. You got to give us an opportunity to work through issues on site. And I'm saying all this to say, don't micromanage your managers. If they have proven themselves, if they're doing a great job on site, if you have had no issues from the client, if everybody speaks highly of this person, give that manager an opportunity to do their job successfully. Okay, it does the agency a disservice, it does you a disservice, and it makes the manager's job extremely hard when they're having to constantly babysit you, give you updates every 2 to 3 minutes, as if they don't know what they're doing. Allow that person to excel in the role that you hired them in, and trust that they're going to be able to perform their duties. Now, it's totally different. We're not going to go into that today, but it's totally different if they have proven otherwise. Then I can understand why you may be on them, or you may be, checking in or crossing your T's and dotting your I's when it comes to them. And that's another day in a conversation that you may need to have with them regarding their roles and responsibilities. But understand that negativity, right, from the account managers, from the brand, not from the brands, excuse me, from the account managers, from the agency owners, it happens as well, right? And as the owners of the staff agencies, experiential marketing agencies, you set the tone for how your agency is ran. You set the tone for what you expect from brand ambassadors, team leads, tour managers, product specialists, right? You set the tone, how you act, how you carry yourself, how your fellow employees, your fellow account managers, your fellow staffing coordinators, how they communicate with EXPs in the field. It's a reflection and a representation of what you do in the office and what you allow your staff to do, and how they are um, able to treat EXPs in the field. And I'm not saying that, every company's culture isn't questioned, or every company's culture is the same, or every company culture is rock solid, meaning that you don't have a few, account managers or staff coordinators that you may hire that who initially embody what the agency stand for, but now they're showing something different, right? That's a completely different story for a different day. But what I'm saying to you is this: understand that as an account manager, as an agency owner, as an experiential marketing agency, right, you set the tone, you set the precedence for what you expect from your staff and what you expect from EXPs. So make sure that you are putting out as an agency what you want your staff to embody. All right. And then also, I'm going to talk about negativity from other EXPs as well. All right. Fellow EXPs at any position, right? Be mindful of the other EXPs that you're keeping around. Be mindful of the fact that if you're always referring a fellow friend or a fellow EXP for opportunity, but they are never referring you for opportunity, or they're always calling you at the last minute when the agency or the account manager or the staffing coordinator is looking for only one more person, instead of calling you when they were looking to fill 10 positions, be mindful of that. Be mindful of the EXPs who you call friends, who only reach out to you when they are in need of something. But when you need them to assist you with something, or even just to pass your resume on to an account manager that you may be working with, currently with an agency. If you just need them to just, hey, put a bug in so and so ear, let them know I'm available for this tour, let them know I'm available for this opportunity. And they always saying, oh man, they not hiring right now. Oh man, I tried, but they never got back to me. Oh man, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'll let you know when I do it. And they never let you know when they do it. Be mindful of those EXPs. All right. Because negativity can show up with a smile, with a great attitude, can exude and exhibit as if they have your best interest, as if they're your friend, as if they're someone who's going to also look out for you and afford opportunities to you as well. It can be masked in different ways, but watch people's actions in the industry, right? Watch how other EXPs respond when you tell them you were awarded a tour opportunity. Are they genuinely happy for you, or are they that's cool, wishing and wondering why the opportunity wasn't given to them? Okay, we got so many opportunities. This industry is so wide open and it's so big, but yet it's so small. In the fact that a lot of people are interconnected with other friends and other EXPs. So while you may not be friends with someone that you may be working with on site, they may be a friend of another friend that you know as well. So what I'm trying to say is that the industry is small, right? But making sure that you are mindful of who you talking to, who you are building relationships with, even at the account manager, level. Be mindful of account managers who are looking for you to talk bad about other agencies or talk bad about other EXPs. Hey, what you think about this EXP? Have you worked with them before? Well, we heard this and that and that and this. Don't play into that. Don't play into that negativity, because at the end of the day, the minute that you start doing that, then that leaves room for them to say, well, okay, so and so talks bad about this person or that person, so they'll do it when I'm not there, or when they'll talk about me or the agency or me as an EXP as well. Don't get caught up in that. Remember, you're there to do one thing. You're there to do your job. Perform your job duties, right? Perform your job duties. Be the best that you can be that day at your job, whether that's engaging with consumers, whether that's handling registration, whether that's being a product specialist or right seat driver, whether that's being a tour manager, whether that's being a team lead. Come there to do your job and leave all the other drama, leave all the other gossip, leave all the other negativity, leave all your personal issues at home. Okay? It's enough to go around, right? We have an industry with so many opportunities, right? With so many events. And as we see, things are starting to open up, and we have so many tours and opportunities coming down the pipeline. So as you go into this season of executing events, right? As you continue to move into pursuing events, don't allow what other people are doing to distract you. Don't get caught up in the fact that somebody else got an opportunity for a tour and you didn't. Your time is coming. But keep putting in the work, keep having tunnel vision, stay focused on the things that you're working on, and make sure at the end of the day that you are doing quality work. I say it all the time. You are a brand within a brand. Represent yourself accordingly. Represent yourself accordingly. Don't get caught up in the negativity and what everybody else is doing. Don't get caught up in what the account managers are doing. Don't get caught up in what they're saying. Don't get caught up in believing the hype around what people say, because oftentimes you have to watch their actions. Those same people may be the ones that are on site causing drama, showing up late and not doing their job. All right. So be mindful. All right. Negativity comes in many forms. All right. And just make sure that you checking your energy before you go on site. You coming in with good vibes, you meditating, you speaking your affirmations, you doing whatever you need to do, right? Whatever you need to do to make sure that you are preparing and you are equipping yourself for success at any position. All right. Because it can be tough out there, especially when you're looking to advance and pursue a career full-time within the industry. So let me go ahead and take some questions. Let me read some comments real quick. Let's see what we got going on. Counterintuitive to productivity. Yes, they can be gaslighting. Yes, you have a lot of gaslighting as well within the industry. And like I tell you guys, just stay clear of that. All right. I love this, Jay. I'm going through this right now. I'm going to have to reach out to you. All 8 years, I've never been gaslighted this, and it's been my mental health. Yeah, no money is worth it. Don't. And I know it's hard. It can be tough at times because you're looking at, okay, I got this consistent money coming in. I'm on tour, or this is the agency that I've always wanted to work for. This is the brand that I've always wanted to work for. Trust me, I've been there. I've been on tours. I've been in positions where I've had to suck it up and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let that one slide, but next time I'm gonna check them. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna speak up for myself. Or you know what? One time, for what they say, fool me once, um, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've had those instances where I had to say, you know what? This won't happen again. This won't happen again. Right? I never worked for this agency. I never worked for this account manager because of their unprofessionalism, because of how they do business, but because of how they treat staff. And watch what and how some of these agencies treat staff, right? If they're treating their staff like crap, then you got to be mindful of that, right? Because you don't want to walk into a situation where you feel like, man, you know what? I knew it. I saw the signs and I didn't adhere to it. Again, negativity comes in many forms, all right? And don't compromise or sacrifice your mental health, guys, for any tour, any opportunity. I'm here to tell you it's not worth it, okay? Peace. Hola, Jay. Thanks for responding. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Do you have any advice for leads or opportunities? Could you help with companies that are jumpstarting tours? There are a lot of companies out there that have a lot of tours going on. Lauren, if you haven't already, make sure you go join the EXP Elite group on Facebook. Just type in EXP Elite on Facebook and the group should come up. Off the top of my head, I can tell you right now that Red Peg is a company that always hires for tours. Next Marketing is another company that always hires for tours. Let me think. I don't have my phone with me right now. But there are a lot of agencies that hire for tours. Momentum is another company that hires for tours as well. There have been a lot of opportunities posted in the group for tours recently. So definitely make sure you join the group. Tap in with other EXPs, ask questions. There are EXPs in the group that will answer your questions as well. But definitely, we also post jobs in there as well. Allied Marketing is another company that comes to mind that hires for tours. Assist Marketing from time to time, they may have tour opportunities, but it's not consistent. They do have tour opportunities, but they do come up, here and there. But definitely tap in with these agencies as well. If any more come up as I'm on live, I'll definitely let you guys know. But just make sure as you continue to move through the industry, oh, you're welcome, Lauren, that you're being mindful and you're taking into consideration your goals, your aspirations, what you're looking to achieve in the industry, whether that be full-time or part-time or either getting on tour, and making sure you're aligning with agencies that represent or embody the same thing. Attack is another agency that hires for tours as well. Line Media is another one that hires. Avark is another agency as well that hires. So you just got to make sure that you do your research, right? Make sure that you look at what the agency, as far as the type of tours that they do, and make sure that what they stand for. When you're talking to these account managers and these staffing coordinators for these tour opportunities, ask them questions as well. Don't allow them to come in and just lead the whole conversation. Ask them questions. How long you been working with the agency? How long you been in the experiential marketing industry? Do you have any experience executing events at a tour management level? Melt ATL is another agency that comes to mind, right? So ask these questions and make sure that MKTG is another one. Encouraging Marketing is another one. Okay, that's they coming off the dome. They coming off the dome. But yes, just make sure that you have questions. You have a set of questions that you're asking these account managers and staffing coordinators. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out my YouTube channel, because I provide a downloadable checklist of questions that you can ask an agency owner, you can ask an account manager, you can ask a staffing coordinator prior to executing any tour or any management opportunity or any event, quite frankly. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I try to make sure that I provide resources on this, on not only the EXP Elite group and on YouTube, that'll assist you at any position, in the experiential marketing industry. And as you guys know, I'm also an advocate for making sure that we talk about creating, and pivoting outside of the industry and making sure you're setting yourself up, to create multiple streams and ensure that in the event that the industry shuts down, that you are, preparing yourself for that. So definitely make sure you guys are tapping in. Make sure you're sharing my YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribing to my page as well. Make sure also that you are using the EXP Elite community, as your community and your resource. Ask questions, and myself or other EXPs will be happy to assist you, and answer those questions as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, one, you are a brand within a brand, so represent yourself accordingly. No tour, no agency, no account manager, no client, no brand is worth you jeopardizing your morals and values and what you stand for. All right. So definitely keep that in mind. And always remember, guys, you are a brand within a brand. So represent yourself accordingly. All right. This is Jay, your EXP coach and consultant, checking in live. I'll see you guys next week. Be safe out there. All right. Later.